What's good, everybody, and welcome into the new moon in Cancer celebration. And we're going to be talking about so much more surrounding this new moon, surrounding Cancer season, the energies of Cancer season, some fun things in between. Shouts out to all of y'all who are going to be showing up or watching this in advance in the future. Much love. Really do appreciate it. It's nice to be able to kind of get back in a space where it's like, okay, it's time to do the astrology. It's time to talk about what's going on. I love new moons. New moons are personally probably one of my favorite lunations. So let's start to get into why this new moon is so important to the course of not just the rest of the year, but just like having us dive into a deeper sense of our own soul and having us dive into a deeper sense of our own emotional pool, right? So first thing that I want to start with when it comes to this new moon in Cancer, the new moon is when you look up in the sky and the sky is dark. Why? Because the moon isn't already finished the cycle from the last full moon, and now it's going to get ready to become that moon that grows again into that full moon over the course of the next 2 weeks, right? So with that being said, the new moon is always a very open time in order for you to kind of figure out exactly what it is that you want to start bringing into your life based off the energies of this Cancer season, in this Cancer season energy. So what is that ruled by? The moon. So having a new moon in Cancer is going to be because we're going to be diving into what are we creating next based off of how we feel, right? So the idea behind it, right, is that the new moon in Cancer wants you to break free of whatever has been an emotional hold. And the reason why I want to explain it that way is because this Cancer new moon is conjunct Lilith, right? I just finished watching last night. I watched the Doctor Strange movie, the newer one with the Scarlet Witch. That right there, if you want to have any representation of like Lilith and Cancer energy, I would highly recommend that you watch that, because the way that the Scarlet Witch is and what she like goes about, that matriarchy of power, so to speak, and how she was so very zoned in on making sure that she can be in her children's reality, so to speak, right? It's very Lilith in Cancer, right? And the amount and the willingness to go through whatever it took to do so is even stronger now. And I find it very interesting, and I haven't gotten to talk too much about it recently, but the whole idea of the abortion rights, everything that has been going on with the Supreme Court ruling and all that other bullshit, because apparently they care about it so much, right? But the idea of that happening, right, it bugged me out when it happened for multitudes of reasons. But what it did bug me out about was the fact that it was literally just like Cancer season had just started. And I feel like that was an attack on the divine feminine in a lot of senses, right? And I think this new moon in Cancer is even more kind of trying to bridge in this new perspective of being willing and being ready to speak against those things that are going on. I find it mad funny how every time I've been doing IG lives, they always pause on me now. But I'm still finna go through and just do it. My connection is fine. This is just a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? When the truth gets spoke, people start getting weird. Things start getting weird. Regardless, this 7-degree new moon in Cancer is going to be opening up the ideals of your relationships and how are you willing to nurture those relationships, and what relationships you aren't willing to nurture, and what are the ones that you have to kind of go Lilith energy about and be like, I cannot be in your space, or like I cannot be around this person because they bring out a blank side of me that I'm like, oh no, right? Lilith in Cancer is also going to be making sure that the people that want to live in that divine feminine vibration, that raw power vibration that comes in that, is going to be way easier to transition to that throughout the summer, right? And a large portion of that once more. As soon as Cancer season started, we had an attack on the divine feminine straight up ASAP. And I think when it comes to that, it becomes more imperative to be like, all right, how do we now take these emotions that we have and organize them in order to help it out? Another reason why this is important too is because Ceres, which is an asteroid, but is the goddess of the hearth, is also in Cancer around this new moon energy as well. So although Lilith is being the more cavalier, the more strong, the more screw the system type deal, Ceres is also going to be giving the influence of screw them, right? But now how can we build based off of those limitations in order for things to actually come together the way that they ought to be, and whatever that means for your life specifically. But this is something that is going to be centralized around this new moon energy. Much love to everybody who's in here, by the way. I know I just wanted to kind of get straight into it, but appreciate y'all for being here. Please be sure that you share this, like this, comment, all that other stuff. I will be bringing back services very soon. I have been making lots of transitions, like I've been mentioning, but I ended up actually leaving a job so I can have more time to like actually get back to my craft for real. And I think that's pretty amazing. I appreciate all y'all still being on, still being willing and ready to just pop up whenever I post something. It means a lot to me as far as like, you know, taking care of myself and still being able to have people resonate with my work even when I've been absent. So I really do appreciate that. And once more, that's a good feeling, you know? And then part of that is like people that show up to this, I consider y'all like my soul tribe, you know what I mean? I may not be able to be like, hey, what's up every day because I'm living my life, but at the same time, it really is like one of those like calming things where it's like, oh wow, these people really care. And I think that type of energy isn't just coming from me. I think it's like figuring out who and what is around you for your soul family. And a lot of familial themes are also going to be popping up with this new moon in Cancer post that for the next couple of weeks. And the reason why that is because it's like, what do you think your family is, right? If you think your family is just flesh and blood, that's one thing, right? But if you think your family is something that transcends that goes to a soul level, because there's people in people's family where it's like you have no resonation with them whatsoever. But it's like, oh, that's your cousin, that's this, that, and the third. And it's like, I don't even energetically blend with that person. So when you're like, oh, I don't even energetically blend with that person, now you're going to do that. What's good, Starry-Eyed Mystic? I got to talk to you later, matter of fact. Shout out Starry-Eyed Mystic. She's definitely one of the homies that has been like in real support on the astrology ways. So definitely check her out. She definitely got all her stuff on TikTok. She doing her thing. Shouts out to the homies. Definitely appreciate the support. And yeah, I'm on live, you know. I'm out here, I'm talking, I'm rambling. But much love, y'all, for real, for real. I'm still figuring out that TikTok shit. It's taking me a grip, but whatever. If I gotta just do this by default, then I know what I'm able to do. So I'll pop up and do that for y'all. But one thing I had to mention about the new one in Cancer as well is making a square over to Jupiter. So Jupiter's been in Aries for a little bit now. Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, and etc., has been in a sign of personality, action, assertiveness, etc., right? With this square, I think a lot of people are going to be like in this but I think Aries and like Cancer energy, I think of almost like a pressure cooker, right? Like it's like you're like there's this like steaminess that comes from it, because on one end you might feel like this, but on the other end you know you got to do this. And I think this with that square to Jupiter, it's like you're going to feel, man, I got to go in this direction, but your spirit is going to be guiding you over here. And you're like, what's going on? Like, I know, I think I need to, like, the ego is like, I need to do this thing. And that's not ego in a negative sense. It's just like who you are as a person. I want to go do this, right? Whereas the new moon in Cancer is like, yeah, but also it's just you have to get ready to prepare to do something that's going to work with your like soul level, work with your like spirit in that sense too, right? Especially because not only that, Lilith is making a square to Jupiter. And Lilith making a square over to Jupiter, this is going to be the deciding factor in a lot of senses of what does your freedom mean, right? What does your freedom mean specifically for the divine feminine on top of that, and the divine feminine in like males as well, anyone that subscribes and feels through these energies that I'm speaking of. Obviously, there's a bunch of things in between. I'll be breaking that down in future videos because I would definitely like to get on that topic at some point, just to kind of give like a larger perspective of how all that works too. But aside from that, right, this energy that's going on is supposed to kind of feel like you're leaving something behind. And I think in a sense with that square to Jupiter, it's like you're leaving a old comfort zone behind to improve on it in a way that fits your needs better. And I think the hard part about this is a lot of people have already subscribed to like, this is where I know I need to be. I know I need to do this thing, etc., right? Versus, hey, it feels right being here doing this thing. You get what I'm saying? Much love. Hey, what's good? How y'all doing? Shout out to the people catching a live. Hey. Yeah, definitely. You know, I asked the people said go live. So I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna break this all down. I'm gonna pull some cards in a little bit too, but I do want to at least break down a little bit more of this Cancer season energy. I'm back, but I'm taking it slow because I don't want to exhaust myself, overexert. Y'all remember when I was on here like every day? So it's just like brand new life and a brand new space having to be built up. And I think that's happening for more than just me. I think that happens for a lot of people. And because of this new moon in Cancer, that's also going to be doing that. Now there's a certain asteroid, or I believe it's a hypothetical planet, technically, that I've been looking at recently, and it's called Vulcan. And the reason why I've been looking at Vulcan is because normally it follows like the sun, but Vulcan is also like in the pantheon or the mythology of the Greek mythology. Vulcan is basically the one that is the god of fire, making all that happen and everything along the lines of that. You get what I'm saying? But the lighting and the vibes, you know what I'm saying? We gotta come through correct. Much love. Regardless, but Vulcan is the inventor, right? He is the inventor. He created the weapons for all the Olympians. He had played a really critical part on the building and construction of things. And I think this new moon is also technically there, right? Now, Vulcan does follow the sun anyway, but I think a lot of the wisdom on building has to do with building up a home, has to do with building up a structure that you're able to have a good emotional support in. If you don't feel emotionally supported in your home, by whatever means, this new moon is trying to give you either a new perspective, bring you some new energy in those spaces, or have you go somewhere else entirely different. One of the best things you could do for yourself is move out your hometown. Period. Like, it's one of the best things as a person. Gen Z, Pluto Sag, Pluto Scorpio, anything along the lines of that is to like get out of your hometown. Excuse me. But in regards to this, right, this is also making an interesting, I'll even say paradigm. I think the interesting paradigm when it comes to this new moon is that I think a lot of the work has kind of been done. And this new moon is kind of making you forcibly get into it's forcing you to like get into your emotions, get into that like actual emotional space and admit things to yourself that maybe you might not even want to. That's the part about Cancer energy. And if you ever met someone who is a Cancer, like some Cancers are the archetypal, you know, like, feeling this, that, and the third. But a lot of Cancers too have a very similar sense to Leo, right? They're both the luminaries. And I feel like when you see people that might be Cancers or Leos, some people get them confused, right? Because Cancers can still pull up and do whatever. Because the secret, or one of the secrets, which I might make a further TikTok to explain about Cancer energy, right, is that whatever is happening with the moon is what's happening with those people with Cancer energy. Whatever space that's in, if that's your rising sun, moon, Venus, Mars, whatever, wherever the moon is at is what you gonna be moving with. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a new moon in Cancer and you're a Cancer, this is your new start to exploring not just the emotions, but the psychic part of your nature. Because Cancers are inherently psychic people, being able to catch undercurrents of what people are saying and be like, oh no, but that's what you actually mean, right? Which is opposite to Capricorn, where Capricorn's like, this is what you actually mean, and I don't care how you feel. Cancer's like, I know how you feel, and this is what you mean, right? That's kind of like the axis of those two energies. Cancer moon and rising with Sagittarius sun. I felt that secret. Yeah, so like when you have those Cancer energy placements, you have to see like moon sign. Check where the moon's at. As a matter of fact, one of the keys for y'all when it comes to Cancer season, period, right? One of the most important things that you can do to learn moon signs and to learn how these changes happen is pay attention to whenever the moon is in a specific sign during this season. So for the next like 21 days or so, right? Pay attention to like where the moon is at. It's easy to look up. My go-to thing that I always used to go to was astrotheme.com. I used to do that because I would study celebrity charts for a very long time before I started reading people. Just because it gives you a certain, look on that. So if anyone wants to get some insight into learning about astrology, look up your favorite artists, look up your favorite actors, anything along the lines of that. Look up their birth chart and watch their movies, watch their stuff, watch what they do, watch what they present, and you'll start to actually see like, oh, so they're clearly this. And some people, if they have like a very strong sun sign or anything along the lines of that, will literally reflect that in whatever character they play. You get what I'm saying? No matter what character Samuel L. Jackson plays, his Sagittarius will come out. No matter what he plays. No matter what Denzel Washington plays, his Capricorn will come out. And you'll start to see that when you look at stuff like that. But once more, the moon, and for this Cancer season, pay attention to where the moon is at. And it will teach you how moon signs work at a different level than any other season will. Or if I tell you myself. Regardless, continue on. Hey, regardless, regardless though, when it comes to this, the rest of this season and what's coming up, I think one of the things that I need to kind of talk about is this Mercury and Gemini. So the reason why Cancer and Gemini energy is interesting is because like feelings can change. And the way people explain their feelings can also change. And I think that because of Mercury and Venus both being in Gemini during this Cancer season, is that it's like you have to be able to communicate your emotions, because those things can switch up. Those things can be different at different time frames. They can be different at different junctures of your life, because that's part of the human experience. If you don't feel, there's no point in the experience of what we're doing here. You get what I'm saying? It'd be great, yes, achieve your destiny, follow your north node, use your midheaven to the greatest, do everything else like that. But if you can't feel the highs and lows of how that's going on, it's not going to be as worth it. So I think like Cancer energy is very important in that sense, because it's going to force you to feel what's really going on and what you also have to work on. Because one thing about Cancer energy is that it's also ancestral, right? And because of this ancestral energy, sometimes you might feel stuff that don't got shit to do with you. You get what I'm saying? With Cancer season, you might feel something that has nothing to do with you or your current life at all. It might have something to do with the past, because one thing about it is that Cancer season also brings up memory. The concept of dreams, memory, like going back. Your memories aren't even necessarily mental. They're actually like physical, emotional responses that you just like are able to kind of go back to and be like, oh, I felt that then. And you can bring back that same feeling at any point, because it's where that thing lives at. You get what I'm saying? Now, granted, I will be breaking this down and other things, so please stay tuned, because I don't feel like breaking down the whole entire bit right now. This is about specifically the new moon, but I'll get more into the secrets and drop more stuff. Probably on TikTok. If y'all have any, cool, my bad. If you have any recommendations on that, feel free to just like pull up, let me know, say what's up, we chillin'. But yeah, anyway, let me actually close this. Let me just double check, make sure there's nothing else I need to point out specifically about this new moon. Also, what's up? How's everyone doing? How's your life? Feel free to drop down in the comment. I'm saying hi to people. But let me go through real quick. Boom, boom. I think I covered everything. I'm just going to double check one more time. I think we're good. We're good. we're good. So what I will bring out to the fray is a good old Moonology book, you know. Let's pull a couple cards real quick, or pull a card for this real quick and see what's going on. Apparently, oh no, this is the right one. I lied. All right, cool. We good. So we at the Moonology deck right now. I'm gonna just see what comes up. This is for the collective. It's for everybody. Moonology is a dope deck, 100%. Thank you for this live. Confirmations came through for me. I am so happy to hear that, truthfully, you know. I think in my absence of doing this, part of me gets doubtful as far as what reach things might have. But it's not about like the reach in numbers. It's about the reach in energy and who it's affecting and who it's able to honestly help. So the fact that people are like, this is confirming, this is affirming, it's always super dope to hear. And I really do appreciate the love when it comes to that. And for y'all tuning in, for real. Okay, I'm reloaded. All right, so what we got for this right here, for this new moon, is that there's a win-win outcome in forecast. A win-win outcome is forecast. Regardless, there's going to be a win-win coming up for people. And ironically, at the bottom of this is a new moon card, which is right now. So the new moon card is the new moon in Cancer is bringing forward a win-win outcome that's coming up. I think this has a lot to do with an emotional thing as well, though. I think this is like an emotional win versus maybe like anything else. I think this is people getting past certain parts of their past, maybe, or getting past certain parts of what they might have gone through in order for them to see the process and the premise and see what they must do next to solidify those happy feelings, but in a proper place. You get what I'm saying? That might be a little bit vague, but let me pull some actual cards too. This is the Mystic Mondays deck. You know, we're doing the moon theme for the new moon in Cancer. But yeah. Okay, all right, we got shit hopping out. Cool. So we have 3 cards that jumped out like crazy a second ago, right? First one, 8 of Pentacles, right? Now, this is somebody working on their art. This is somebody who is truthfully just in their bag, in their own space, making things happen, right? And it's not for necessarily like, I think this work isn't necessarily for anything else but the love of it. And I think that's something that's really important about this card, is that it's like, it's the love of what you're doing that wants you to continuously work for it. And it's not necessarily something that is like, oh, I need to make money from, or oh, this, that, and the third needs to happen for this, right? But regardless, the idea is with this is that your drawings in the background. Now, it's my girlfriend's. She's a great artist. She don't post all her art, but as soon as she do, I will promote it like the most ever. I can't draw for shit, but that's definitely hers. But outside of that, right, for the 2 of Pentacles, right? Who wilding in here? You wilding in here. Go home. I'm playing. But in much love, G, much love. But anyway, on the other side, right, it's going to be the 2 of Pentacles, right? 2 of Pentacles is about, it's like option, right? And this is reverse. So I think a lot of people are trying to weigh out certain options when in reality it's like, you gotta just go for both. And I think the question mark part of it is that it's like, one thing I really need to break down to people, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I do this one thing, that's all I'm supposed to do. I worked in a restaurant, and I just still do it for stuff, but like, I worked coffee restaurant for about like the past year, just about, right? I didn't even talk about astrology to anybody that came in for real. I didn't do it. Not that anything else, it just wasn't the vibe at the time, right? You know how much I've learned about astrology just from dealing with people? You know what I'm saying? Like, just dealing with people at their best, at their worst, asking for coffee. You know how much people I've had to like maneuver with and talk to and make sure that like their needs and their things are like met. You get what I'm saying? Because I did that, I got better at astrology. Why? Because it's a people-based thing. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I have to work corporate, I can't do good at art. It's like, yo, every time you work your corporate job, and you're imagining something different, that is your art. That is the thing you're supposed to start working towards and doing. And until you start doing it, it's going to drive your ass crazy. Which, back to the point, it's about starting to build and do the things that you want to do for this new moon in Cancer in the next upcoming 2 weeks. After that 2 weeks where the full moon happens, it's going to be the finale where you start to really get into those things. But we'll get into that with this card. Matter of fact, this is the 10 of Pentacles. This is showing that if you put in that work over the next 2 weeks, despite the things that you might feel hesitant towards, there's going to be a huge payoff. And what this card is also about is like wish fulfillment. It is the full calibration of the work that you just put in. So it's like, if you want to start putting in that work over the next 2 weeks towards what it is that you're passionate about, it's going to pop up. At the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. Regardless, the bottom of the deck is the Emperor, right? And I think the Emperor has some... matter of fact, this is Jupiter in Aries. This is Jupiter in Aries. What I was just talking about before with Jupiter in Aries squared the Cancer new moon, this is at the bottom of it. Is that it's like, okay, you want to stand in your power? Cool. You want to be the shit? Bet. But like, what work are you going to put into it in order for people to see that? You get what I'm saying? So that 8 of Pentacles once more. How are you going to build? How are you going to just do that thing a little bit every day in order for it to pop up? Because I swear, as soon as you do, because that Jupiter in Aries is trying to make that big yeet for you, right? Before Leo season. Because Leo season, we're getting back to the heart. Cancer season is about the emotions, the mind, your soul. Leo season is about the heart, how you're going to show off your creativity. But Cancer season is the time frame to get into that creativity, get back to those feelings. You get what I'm saying? I miss just being able to do art. I miss being able to pop up and do astrology and just be like, hey, y'all, I miss doing readings for people and really giving people some shit to like look at and hope towards, right? So even for me, this new moon in Cancer is to like have me try to establish a base where I'm able to do that for y'all. So by the time Leo season hits, it's like, we doing readings every day. What's up? We doing this, I'm on this, we're doing clap, whatever the case is. You get what I'm saying? And I think this is going to happen for everyone in their own way. You get what I'm saying? Part of me and my personal growth is figuring out where I'm like, I'm an artist, right? But my art is the way that I describe spiritual things and astrology and the metaphysics of stuff, right? That is my art. And that goes into whatever else I want to do. If it's music, if it's making coffee, if it's making drinks for people, these are all the different things that kind of go in coordination with all of that. So, fun facts, the more you know. Anywho, let me pull one more card for this Cancer new moon. Kind of start to wrap this up in just a second. Much love for everyone that came out. Please make sure that you like this afterward and everything else along the lines of that. And we should be good. So you're saying I'm going to make a fire song tonight. Yeah! Come on. Make the fire song. If it's fire enough, you send it to me. And we get some work. We get some work. Studio. But regardless, right? Last card for right now. 4 of Pentacles. So, this is, I would even say, a lesson in patience, right? And the lesson of patience that comes in is that there's going to be a lot of options. And I think part of Cancer season, you have to feel through all of the options, right? This could be like, I want to be a writer, but I need to go corporate to make money, but I also don't want to work ever again. Actually, I want to be a TikTok, so actually I want to do this. Actually, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so many options and ideas. Someone says the number 4 strikes again, and we are in Cancer season, which is the 4th sign of the zodiac. Even more, 4 is a number I like to associate with like the 4 elements and being able to balance those things out to create a building block for anything else, right? That's a deeper story. That's another thing for another day. But when it comes to at least this 4 of Pentacles, though, I think this is definitely like about building that stability based off of how you feel. And once more, like I said in the earlier part of this video, I don't know if anyone's new, that Supreme Court ruling is a direct attack on the divine feminine. with this new moon in Cancer and Lilith and all the series energy, it's like, okay, because it's been that attack, how are people going to get into the position to protect that energy? You get what I'm saying? Obviously, it's going to be something different for everybody. My heart goes out to those who might be affected by anything that is along the lines of that. They're tripping. They're big tripping. They've been big tripping for a long ass time. But I think this is something where it's like, y'all done gone too far. My home state is apparently like doing some nice stuff for it, but it's still like, it's still a travesty to have that happen throughout like the whole entire country. But the U.S. is definitely in its Pluto return, and every empire only lasts for 250 years. We are in year 275 of the 245 of the American Empire. So get y'all passports. No, I'm dead ass, but also let me stop. But yeah, so basically that is of this new moon in Cancer. I'm gonna end it off here. I don't want to go over this time. Much love for all y'all showing up. Please be sure to like this, do all that shit. I don't feel like saying it again. Y'all know how it go. Anywho, it was great to see you all. Thank you all for showing up. I will see you at some point soon. If y'all have any TikTok ideas or things that haven't been covered astrologically, feel free to send them through to me. I will take requests. I'm just trying to figure out how to do that shit. Doesn't make any sense to me. I could talk for 30 minutes straight. No problem. 30-second video, I don't know how that works. But we still working on it. So once more, just got to work on things. And sometimes things pop up. So much love. We'll be seeing you all soon. Until next time, y'all stay up. Be beautiful. And stay beautiful. Accept your emotions. Or else. New moon in Cancer. Y'all. Peace.